God damn it.
What the fuck?
Oh! Holy shit!
As you can see, the 328 just arrived. For those of you who guessed correctly, all I bought at that auction was the 328. Suburban went for too much money. Well, it never even went, the reserve was never met. It was up toward the, I think it was at 1600. And then I gotta move the Escalade so he can back into my driveway here. The Solara went for too much money. Pretty much everything went for too much money except for this BMW. And again, this car is very low risk for me because if I can't fix it up, if the engine's gonzo, I need the parts anyway. So, wow, that paint job looks beautiful in the sun. I can't believe it. Is the 97 328i sedan. This is what I ended up buying from the auction on Wednesday. And you can see it's actually not as bad as I thought cosmetically. There is some clear coat issues. Definitely could be fixed. It looks like it just started happening. You can tell that it's still flaking off the car. So it could probably be polished and re-cleared, and I could avoid doing an entire paint job in this car. It's really not in bad shape. This was a two-owner car, and the second owner had it since 2010, and they put probably 100,000 miles on it, so definitely a well-cared-for car. I'm not sure why the engine, well, at least in my video, it sounded like the engine was very noisy, but Alex was shaking his head telling me it was fine. So it could have been an exhaust leak. It's not uncommon for that to happen on these. I've actually had exhaust issues with both my BMWs. The TI has one currently. It's very loud and obnoxious, and my coupe did, and I fixed that one. So could be a very bad exhaust leak, could be engine noise. The oil is definitely very dirty. We saw that yesterday in the video. The plan in buying this was to take the manual transmission out, the pedal assembly, everything I need to convert my silver coupe, which isn't here right now, it's over in my storage. So let's do a quick walk around on this BMW and look at the condition. It's very dirty right now, but this paint overall is in great shape. This car is definitely look great when I give it a wash and clean out these wheels. We may have brake issues, or that could just be a lot of brake dust. We'll find out. I'm going to hit this car with the pressure washer later if it runs and drives. It was marked as a start, but you saw me in the previous video. I put it in first, rolled it forward ever so slightly. I couldn't go very far because I had Alex in front of me holding the hood, and I rolled it backwards ever so slightly. Didn't feel any grinding or popping, but obviously the real test will be driving the car. This does have the BMW International Motorsports badges on it, which is interesting. These typically were put on M3s to replace the M3 badging. So obviously someone put this on afterwards. I decoded the VIN in this car, and it didn't have any special package. So this was put on after the fact. I think they look nice. At least they don't say M or M3. Probably get replacement ones if I decide to keep this car. Holy shit, I gotta be doing this right now. So again, some minor clear coat issues, but when I looked at this car at Copart, doing a quick look, you can see more clear issues here, but I thought this was all paint fade. Turns out it's just dirt, which is wonderful. That'll come off. This also has glass depot headlights. These are about 150 bucks on eBay, maybe even more. These headlights are great. That was one of the things that attracted me to this car because I know these bring some money, and I'll probably put them on my coupe, especially if I decide to part this out. If I don't, I'll probably still put them in my coupe because that's the cleanest car. Might as well have the best headlights. The stock headlights of this car are in the trunk. It does have the fog lights still, which is a miracle because this one has one I have zip tied in and the other one over there, and then my silver one is missing both. So that's nice. Why don't we go take a look at the interior while these guys wrap up what they're doing. Ugh. And it's about 200 degrees in here. Very typical BMW E36 thing. This is either missing or hanging. It looks like it's missing. It's probably in the trunk. But this car obviously needs a whole new headliner. We have the owner's manual. I'm shocked. Pleasantly shocked, but I guess with a two-owner car, wow, it's got everything in here. That's fantastic. And I also noticed this is a rare thing to find in your E36 still. It still has the flashlight. And like I said, the toolkit is mostly complete in this car. You can tell the shift knob was replaced at some point with an eBay one. But it looks nice. Wait a minute. Where the hell was the key? He told me the key was in it. I asked the guy, did you guys hear me on video? I said, the key's in the car, right? He said, yes it is. And I don't see the key. So we're gonna have to, fuck. All right, give me a minute here to look for that key. Well, I guess my tow guy forgot the key. I don't know if he forgot it at Copart or if he took it out by accident when he dropped it off. Hopefully I'll get that key back here soon. And they call me back. But in the meantime, why don't we check out what's in the trunk? We have a, well, no wonder the oil hasn't been changed. Explains a lot. And this one, I saw this one at Copart. Giant Meteor. So the car probably belonged to a millennial at some point, which explains why everything's in disrepair. Great radio station down here. I like that sticker, I'll probably use it. Got a lot of hose clamps and things, all the typical parts you'd see in the trunk of a BMW. Some fittings and whatever the heck all this is. So what I did notice, but I put everything back together so we could look at it together. So, remember I was talking about the toolkit and how the toolkit was missing the wrenches. Well, I know where they are, at least one of them. Got some hoses. They look like they're new. Can never have enough of these. And we have, here's one of the wrenches from the toolkit. Of course, the 8 and 10 mil is missing. Look at that. Just missing that wrench, and I believe a screwdriver goes here. I have to check my coupe. Alright, so it's day 2. I got the keys to the BMW. There was a little mix up in my towing company. Not a big deal. I've got the Escalade hooked up, charging the battery. And we know this thing runs, and we know it at least rolls a tiny bit in gear, but I didn't really hear the engine up close. So we'll see if this car really is any good. Remember, it's marked as an S for start only, so for all I know, there could be a problem with the transmission, but it did go into gear, it didn't grind or anything, so we'll see. Maybe Copart just mixed up. Wouldn't it be the first time? Ooh, needs a little more juice. All right, that old battery is completely dead. So I just threw in the battery from the Saturn. Oh, the engine doesn't sound too bad at all. I think it's an exhaust leak. It's coming from, yeah, listen. It's coming from back here. Because you listen to the engine, that's what Alex was telling me. The engine sounded fine. And I'm like, you sure, man? Even when you listen to the video, it sounded like it was all clanky, but I think it was just purely exhaust. And let's check out if we have any dash lights. We're very low on fuel, so I should probably try to limp this thing over to a gas station right away. Okay, let's see which windows work. I'm assuming the air doesn't. We can try. I pray it does. That would be wonderful. Oh Lord. Oh God. Ah, I wish I didn't touch that one. Well, I have to try at least because it's very hot in here. Well, that sucks. And the AC does not seem to be getting cold. But the blower motor does work. Okay, so we do have a check engine light now. Let's see what happens here. It is moving. I don't know why they had this marked as a start unless it doesn't go forward and first. Well, what the hell? Did the guy testing this just not know how to shift? It does shift. It does drive. This is a run and drive. They had it marked as a start only. Third gear, that gearbox is smooth. This thing drives pretty damn nice. It is flat out of fuel though. I really hope I make it. This engine feels very smooth. Alright, so post-fuel fill-up report. I also dumped a little bottle of fuel injector cleaner in, or just fuel system cleaner in general, because who knows how old the remaining nothing of gas was in there. The gas gauge does work. Check engine light comes and goes. It drives like $1,000,000. Shifts smooth, sounds good. Get the very typical E36 airbag light, but the car feels fine. And I don't know if I mentioned it in yesterday's clips, but this car had extended warranty to 100,000 miles, so chances are it's had a lot of work done. It feels like it doesn't feel like a 200,000 mile car. It feels very tight. Sounds fine to me. And you notice there's no smoke coming out of the exhaust. All right, so I'm currently changing the oil on the 328. You can see it's nice and clean. You can barely even see through it, so it's definitely due for an oil change. I don't see any major current leaks of any kind. The belts appear to be in decent shape. I don't see any cracking. And the undercarriage looks to be in great shape. We look at all the suspension components. I don't see any issues with the tie rods. Looks like the front struts were replaced. Everything looks pretty decent overall. I'm honestly pleasantly surprised. This radiator is definitely newer. It's I know it's kind of hard to see what's going on down here, but it's very clean compared to the rest of the things underneath the car. So that was replaced at some point. And their tires are not bad at all. They're matching tires. They're Michelin's. They're not shit tires, and they have probably about 40% life left. I'm hoping that the AC compressor still works. It looks older for sure. It's definitely an older compressor. Now granted, it could have been replaced 10 years ago and it's still going to look aged, but I did buy some Freon and I'm going to see if it takes a charge. Alright, so oil change is complete. You can see just how dirty that oil was that was in there. This engine should be a lot quieter and healthier sounding. Oh yeah. Sounds brand new. So I'm gonna let it warm up for a few minutes, check the level, make sure it's good. I also want to recharge the AC, at least try to. So I'm gonna go ahead, I guess I'll do that right now, wait for the car to warm up. Boy oh boy did I get lucky. So I just used this Super Tech can, $18 at Walmart. And the BMW's AC is ice cold. Almost right away came back to life. It's perfectly charged, not overcharged, and oh, it is so nice and cold in here. So hopefully it lasts. It is freezing. It's not like it's lukewarm or cool. It is cold. It is ice cold. So now I'm gonna get this window back up. You can see it's been running now for about, I don't know, 10 minutes. Running nice and cool, no check engine lights. Alright, so I'm about to head over to the car wash. I had to come out and take a look at those beautiful depot headlights with HIDs. So long as this BMW keeps operating as it has today, I have no intentions of parting it out. You can hear it's running very quietly. There's no chattering from the engine. No smoke from the exhaust. And I've got that window up, and that AC is freezing cold. Anyway, I'm gonna take the car now down to the car wash and see how she cleans up. All right guys, so here is 328i sedan after a pretty thorough car wash. Now granted, a bucket and sponge would have done better, but I wanted to start with the pressure washer, get all the layers of dirt off the car, and in reality it still needs definitely a good clay barring and the whole 9 yards. It needs a full detail, and obviously it needs clear coat. But for just a quick wash over at the car wash, most of the car looks fantastic, especially the sides. And the tops are easily fixed. Some clear coat, and I have to get that kidney grill, of course. I'm planning on going to the junkyard tomorrow or I'll get one of those. That'll make the car look even more complete. And you can see those beautiful HID headlights and those glass housings that will never fade like the shitty plastic ones that are OEM here in the US. Driving it around, no issues. Gearbox is perfect, despite Copart saying this car was a start only. It shifts perfectly fine. Clearly whoever got in this car and did the listing did not know how to work a manual transmission, because it shifts beautifully. Nice and smooth, no grinding, no issues with the clutch, nothing. And you can see I did my best to clean the wheels, but there was a lot of old brake dust, and obviously that will come off with some really thorough cleaning, but nothing the car wash brush could do. They're definitely a little bit cleaner, but definitely a lot of room for improvement as well. So I think the car looks absolutely fantastic for what I paid for it. My all-in on this car is 500, I want to say it's 528 or 558, something like that. I don't exactly remember, but the car was for something after fees, and it was $100 to get it delivered to my door. So it came out somewhere in the mid 500s. But as you can see, it looks beautiful for a $500 BMW, and runs beautiful too. I haven't even cleaned this interior. I've done nothing to it. This is how the car came. For a millennials car, based on the Bernie Sanders stickers that were in the trunk, I gotta give the kid credit. He kept it very clean. Very, very clean. It does still need a headliner pretty badly. There is no headliner at this point. I haven't tried the sunroof yet. I don't want to push my luck. And that AC is still ice cold. It is freezing in here. The radio works. Quick little preview before I get demonetized. You do have that airbag light still, but you notice no check engine lights at all. It came on for a brief moment when I first got the car running, but it has not returned since. And the car is running beautifully. And you can see it's also not overheating. It maintains temperature even sitting here at idle. Let's take a quick look under the hood. Definitely have to clean this engine bay up, but for now, it's running beautifully. And honestly, this thing leaks no oil from what I could see underneath and around the valve cover. My coupe leaks a shit ton of oil. You smell it if it sits for a couple of days and it starts to accumulate. I bought this car, honest to God, thinking it was going to be a parts car. I wasn't even sure if the transmission was going to be any good, based on Copart marking as a start only. So how do you go wrong? This car is absolutely not getting parted out. Now, I know that was my initial plan for it. I talked about that in the previous video, but there's no way. So anyway, that's the scoop, guys. Take you for a quick spin out of here. Thank you very much for watching. Keep an eye out for more videos. I'll be uploading plenty more. I have a lot more time on my schedule now. I'm going to do my best to keep the content coming. Try to do more than just one video a week. So thanks for watching, and keep an eye out for the next one.